Go.
Hello, my name is Nicole Billings. Currently, I'm studying business administration, which focuses on public records management. I'd like to take this time to explain a little bit about public records as it relates to government. For example, imagine going to get your birth certificate and being denied access. Now, how horrible would that be? You're getting ready to go on a cruise and you need your simple birth certificate, and we come and tell you that we lost it. What is your next step? You have no idea, right? So I'd like to be able to explain to you how public records affect the community as it relates to government. Here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, I'm responsible for maintaining all of the records for all the buildings in the city of Fort Lauderdale. That includes homes, commercial properties, banks, and schools. Now, part of my responsibility is making sure that I'm accountable for those records and maintaining those records. And being accountable for those records, I have to maintain those records for at least 10 years. After that, I have the option to dispose them, as long as I'm disposing them according to the Florida state statute. But here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, I like to provide a service where I can go back all the way to the 1950s, and I'm able to provide microfilm where you can see the original home and where it was built. Now, for your protection, there are records that are public records, and there are some records that are exempt. For example, according to the Florida state statute, you have banks, you have schools, you have governmental buildings, you have some hotels even that are confidential. So for your safety, we like to maintain those records as confidential. Yes, they are public records, but it comes with an option. If, let's just say, for example, if you wanted a bank, you could get those records because they are public records, with exceptions to the exemption as it relates to Florida records, Florida state statute 11907. So you have to either be the owner, the architect, or the engineer listed on those records. Imagine working at a bank and anybody's able to gain access. So that means anybody's able to get the floor plans and they can rob that bank. So goes for school as well, and any governmental building. So we just like to make sure that we're maintaining the safety of the public. We like to also make sure that we're following the Florida State Sunshine Law as it relates to public records. I also handle public records requests, and I like to make sure we're following the Muni codes. A lot of people put in public records requests because they want to see how does their neighbor's tree impact their land use. So for example, they'll ask for a survey. Now, if we're unable to provide that survey, that provides like a level of distrust, because sometimes people will think that maybe we're not able to provide that survey because we may know their neighbor and we may not want to provide that. So here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, I like to let everyone know that records are public with the exemption of any exempt property, but there's still a process where you're able to maintain those records. In conclusion, I like to say, without records, citizens can't hold governmental agencies accountable. Remember the next time you apply for your birth certificate and you're asking for a duplicate copy of anything at a governmental facility, and how they have to maintain your records. I'd like to take this time to say thank you for listening to me as I gave my speech on public records and how it relates to the public. Thank you.